Welcome to the Middle Ground. I'm Ohio Divided. He's Michigan Metal, and we've got a wild weekend of football to break down. Michigan went on the road without their head coach and came away with a huge win at Nebraska. Reestablishing that classic Wolverine run game is exactly what they did, but that was just the start of it. Clemson is sitting at 1-3 with Dabo firing off all kinds of excuses. Is the standard too high at Clemson for Dabo? Florida fans are just wondering how long Billy Napier is still going to have a job. Curt Cignetti doesn't just beat top 10 ranked teams, he beats the shit out of him, and Curt Cignetti stood on business this weekend. And in the NFL, the Colts are 3-0. The Bucs are 3-0. We had not one, but we had two blocked field goals to seal games today. An absolutely chaotic weekend across all of football. Stick around. We got all the takes, all the drama, and everything you need to know about one of the craziest weekends of football of the entire year to date. Metal, welcome back after a week off. How you doing tonight?
What is going on? What's going on, man? I'm doing pretty well. Just recovering from the sickness. Kid's been sick. Like daycare is just obviously a cesspool for diseases when everyone goes back to school. So I'm just trying to recover, trying to move into a house. So life is pretty chaotic right now. Luckily, we got some good football that's going on in the background of life right now, and just completely enjoying that. So, how about yourself, man? How you doing?
For those of you that don't know this out there, Metal and I are basically living the same lives, so I'm also in the process of moving right now. But I'm kind of at a standstill until my new house is ready for me. So, for the time being, I've just been kind of waiting it out, and like you said, I've been watching a shit ton of football because I don't really have a whole lot else to do right now. I don't have grass to take care of. I don't have a house to really clean anymore. I don't really have food to make anymore. There's just a lot of things that I did have when I did have my house that I no longer have anymore. So, been getting a lot of ball watching in. Another wild weekend, a really wild weekend across the board. We'll get into a little bit of it later, but I do have a question for you, Metal, right off the rip as we get going. What was the most positive thing you saw from Michigan this weekend? The one thing pops right in your head.
O-line blocking.
Love it.
That's probably the positive thing.
I think I saw a clear difference from that Oklahoma game to this game, just in that two week difference. And yeah, the O-line looks better, but I think also bringing Bryce Underwood into the running attack or the rushing attack for Michigan, I think that really opens things up. It gives them another dimension. And, yeah, the offensive line looked much improved from what they did against Oklahoma. They got kind of punched in the mouth a little bit against Oklahoma. And then I know they had the situation with the play calling and everything like that you weren't real happy with. But I thought there was a lot to be excited about with Michigan moving forward. And it kind of looked like they got back to their roots of what's always made them good. And I'd be feeling pretty positive if I was a Michigan fan today.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting and an enjoyable watch, especially compared to the Oklahoma game. Even like early off the start when like Raiola and Nebraska were just marching down the field, you can see Wink Martindale was just making adjustments on the defense to where we got the red zone stop to where Nebraska missed a field goal, and we got a couple of red zone stops during that game, but. I'm sure we're going to talk more about that later in the show, especially with the Michigan and Nebraska breakdown.
Yeah, for sure. On a final note, what is your thoughts on Timu Mahomes? How much did it annoy you seeing him do the dumb shit that he always does, acting like he's just trying to be himself? That's the part that gets me that makes me laugh the most.
When Brad Nessler was saying that he wants to be they were reporting that he wants to be his own person. Oh, fucking
shut! Oh my god!
Literally had the same headband, same mannerisms.
You walk like him. Your entrance is like him. You do the flexing. That is the biggest. Brad Nessler said that, but fucking Raiola has said that too. I just try to be myself and I'm my own guy. Yeah. Shut the fuck up. You do anything and it's kind of like the whole Kobe to MJ thing. Kobe definitely tried to model a lot of the same shit MJ did, but I think it's worse.
Like Kobe was his own person compared to MJ. Like Kobe inherited some like skills, especially with the mannerisms of like the fade jumper.
I think the
Just the
competitiveness
style.
really too. The
Yeah,
competitiveness, like
the
just being
competitive.
like a
Yeah,
psychotic competitor. But this dude is
there's
like
no.
walk, talk, like everything like him.
Yeah, dude, they had the same. I'm pretty sure they had like the same jewelry because they hang out. Like they
They work
definitely
out
hang out.
together a little bit, don't they? I think they do during the
Yeah,
off season. Yeah.
that's not like how can like imagine being Patrick Mahomes and you got this kid who's in college who literally just wants to be just like you and he's like a little fucking puppy dog, just like following you everywhere.
I mean,
Like they said in they said
go
so they
ahead.
said in the broadcast that Raiola was there for the AFC Championship last year in the locker room with them.
Seriously?
Yeah. So, like,
Wow,
dude,
I didn't know that.
like you're your own fucking person, bro.
I probably watched half of that game, but I missed a lot of it leading up to it. I watched more of like the second half than I did the first, but I missed that part. But I'm sure Mahomes at first thought it was kind of cool. Like, yeah, this kid at Nebraska is wearing my same number. He looks a lot like me, kind of plays like me. But it's kind of gotten like
Yeah.
cringe worthy level where it's like mannerisms are starting to act like him. Like, dude, there's a line here and you've crossed it.
Yeah, like how do you grow into yourself when you're trying to be someone else? That's like that. I mean, I went through this phase where like I was in a band. Like when I first like joined a band, like I wanted to be just like James Hetfield, and like where I would match like his voice and everything like that. But over time, like I just learned like I'm trying to be someone else and sound like someone else when it's not gonna do me any good because it's not my voice and it's not like a person like it's not personal. I'm just mimicking someone to where like Dylan Raiola is just mimicking someone in every single like trait and it's just so fucking mind-boggling, dude. Like people can say that like or he can say that he tries to be his own person, but he's not. He's literally not.
Yeah,
Like
nah, you can't
he's
even like
literally
can't even claim that at this point.
I'm pretty sure that he probably has like a white girlfriend. Her name is like Becky or something like that instead of like Brittany. And then
Probably.
they're gonna have
It's
they're gonna have
insane.
the same like cringe like TikTok brother. It's just so fucking cringe, dude. Like just be yourself, bro. Like you
Well,
don't need to be someone else. Like, you're
my
already good.
thing is you look like him, you sound like him, your mannerisms are like him. The next step is like you got to start kind of playing like him. Like he's an okay quarterback, but this like 5-star all everything that he probably wasn't on a Bryce Underwood level coming out of high school, but he was a 5-star. Like he was a
Yeah.
highly rated recruit in high school and he was committed to Ohio State for a while and there's like nothing's ever been confirmed, but there's rumors and shit out there that Ohio State kind of cooled on him late, and that's kind of why he decommitted, went to Georgia, decommitted, then ended up at Nebraska. But I am so appreciative every single day that he is not at Ohio State because I he's fine, but he is nothing special.
How do you think like he would have excelled there at Ohio State, like just being under Ryan Day instead of under Matt Rule?
Yeah, probably. I mean, Ohio State's offense is like very quarterback friendly when you think about just like the weapons that you have at your disposal there. I mean, he probably would have been good. He would have been solid, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm fine with saying. I'll just say that.
Oh yeah, I would be too. I mean, you guys have a much better offensive line than what Nebraska has because they just got absolutely like terrorized the whole day
Yeah,
against.
yeah, yeah. So we'll get more into the Michigan Nebraska game later in the day, but first and foremost, let's talk about the weekend in college football. I don't know which direction you want to go here, Metal. I highlighted probably, what is that, 7, 8 games or whatever that is on the screen there. Kind of more of the storylines across college football. I don't know which direction you want to go. You want to go down the list? You want to go an angle? Whatever you have in mind. What do you think?
Let's go down. Yeah, let's go down the list. Let's talk. Let's talk about it. Trying to
All right.
1 second. Sorry, my computer just basically just had a stroke.
Well, I can still hear you, so I'll just start talking then. So we had number 4 Miami takes down Florida 26-7. Florida now at 1-3. Very high expectations coming into this year. DJ Lagway was very good as a freshman. You expected a solid year down in Gainesville. The schedule was not their friend by any means, but that loss to USF I think kind of set them down a bad path for the rest of the year. And here they are in week 4, 1-3. And my only question is, how the hell does Billy Napier still have a job? I mean, this guy has done nothing but just 500 ball clubs, losing games they should win. Like, it's insane how far Florida has fallen since the days of Urban Meyer and back in the 2000s whenever they were winning national championships. Now it's like they're just trying to make a bowl game. It's wild. I don't think that Florida should accept it. They're in the perfect spot in kind of just a recruiting hot market where they shouldn't accept that kind of bullshit. But I don't know. What'd you think of this one?
I don't think – I think, like, everyone – like, I know, like, preseason predictions, a lot of people had DJ Lagway in the Heisman, like, watch or to be a Heisman finalist. I don't think DJ is that great of a quarterback. I mean, he just – ever since the USF game, like, where he had, like, 3 turnovers, and then it's just constantly just happening throughout the season. Like, we're 4 games in a season and just making, like, just dumb decisions and dumb plays. I mean, I think Florida has, like, a pretty good talent to be, like, at least like contenders or at least, like, competent in the SEC. But I don't believe Billy Napier is the coach for Florida.
Yeah,
like,
no.
They're just a completely undisciplined. The culture has changed from, like, the days of, like, Urban Meyer to where, like, you know, like you said, like, they're championship contenders. Like, they're winning a natty with, like, Chris Leak, or, you know, they got, like, Tim Tebow or other like Percy Harvin, other, like, you know, NFL caliber athletes on that team, and they're just completely different now. Like, I used to enjoy watching Florida growing up because I, like, if I wasn't, like, a Michigan fan, I probably would have been, like, a Florida fan, just because, like, how fun besides, like, USC, but just how enjoyable they were to, like, watch them just completely terrorize teams. Like,
going down to the swamp and playing used to mean something.
Oh yeah, it would be so hard to win in Gainesville, and especially like with Florida versus Florida State, to where, like, you always had, like, the wide right, you know, situation where Florida State is just completely chokes, or just the rivalry between, like, Florida and, like, Miami, like, watching those games. But now it's like it was a close game. You know, like 3/4 of the game, and then Florida's just completely collapsed.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't just able to move the ball down the field, and some dumbass, like, questionable calls that, like, the Florida was just making. Like, dude, like, it's 4th and 1. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, is Chip Lindsey out there, like, making these play calls? Like, what's going on here, man? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Napier is gone by the end of the year, or even, like, before the end of the year. If you're a fan, you don't deserve this shit. It's just been way too long of being
not at all,
or even worse than mediocre.
Well, I also think too, like, you've started 1-3 and shit's clearly not going right, and Billy Napier kind of bought himself another year last year because he ended the year so well last year, and he had this freshman quarterback that showed a ton of flashes. So I think Florida thought, well, let's just give him another year. He's got a really good quarterback. Team around him's pretty decent. Let's see if he can get this kid developed and kind of take the next step and get this thing right back on track next year. Well, they're 1-3. They've looked like shit in their 3 losses. And that quarterback that you talked about, DJ Lagway, who you mentioned was a Heisman favorite at the beginning of the year, has not developed one bit. has not developed even the slightest. I mean, last week you look at him against LSU, 5 interceptions, and I think all 5 interceptions came against base defense. So it wasn't like he was sitting there like getting rushed by blitzers, having to get the ball out quick, where the defense caused him to get the ball out too quick or forced him to make a quick decision that led to an interception. Like, he clearly can't read what he's seeing, and he hasn't taken any kind of step from where he was last year. I mean, he looks like the same exact player, just a young kid with a strong arm that can run around. That's about what DJ Lagway is.
Whenever you see LSU was like, they did this against Clemson too, against Kate Klubnik. Whenever you see like the LSU's like defensive line would stunt on the blitzes, like both Cade and DJ Lagway would just basically, they had no idea what the fuck they were doing with the offense. Like they had no idea how to manage that, like manage the play at all, because they would just completely collapse.
Yeah,
it's like watching fucking Tua out there for the Miami Dolphins and just making just these dumb mental mistakes and just causing turnovers. So I don't know. There's like no development there at all with him.
No.
I agree with you on that.
So for the next game, number 19 Indiana stuns number 9 Illinois, 63-7. An absolute ass kicking from Curt Cignetti and his crew. So I wanted to tie these together. Curt Cignetti, I would say, is probably the next hottest name in college football. Is there a world, like, if Curt Cignetti can make the playoff at Indiana 2 years in a row, somebody is going to come and throw that guy a bag. And I think that somebody is going to be Florida. I think that they are going to see what he's done at Indiana, which is a place that has been deemed forever impossible to win at. And not only is he winning, he is hosting ranked teams that are higher ranked than what he is. And 63-7, absolutely fucking dog-walked Illinois. If you held a gun to my head going into this game, I would have probably definitely have taken Illinois plus 6.5. I would have taken the points, and I probably would have sprinkled a little bit of money on the money line as well. But yeah, I was shocked. I mean, they looked great. They looked like a top 5, top 10 team in college football last night.
Yeah, I was actually very surprised by this. I mean,
shocked.
Like Illinois is ranked 9, and then Indiana's obviously like lower ranked than them. But like Luke Altmaier and like especially the play calling, like for Illinois, like they adjusted extremely well. Especially like in like at like extremist situations to where Illinois was down against Duke. And you can see like the adjustments that are being made on the offense, and Luke Altmaier was just having himself a day. And the same thing with like Fegan. Like Fegan was playing exceptionally well in the first couple of games, like during the start of the season. But then yesterday, like they just completely fucking collapsed. The Indiana, which I'll say, the Fernando Mendoza, that dude is very good. He was 21 for 23 for 267 touchdowns. Like that.
How many touchdowns did he end with?
5.
5? Wow. Yeah.
It's like 80. That's an 80. That's like in the 80s for like accuracy.
Metal, I can hear myself echoing in your background. I don't know if you gotta mess with your settings or anything. I don't hear it anymore. Maybe it was just doing it for a little bit.
That's weird. Okay.
But he was
fucking accurate.
Yeah, he thoroughly impressed me. I mean, he transferred in from Cal this year, and when we talk about guys that we could see win the Heisman at some point, I mean, you mentioned Napier a couple weeks ago, and week by week, that take gets better and better, Metal. I'll give you credit for that. But I would say like those two guys are guys that have like kind of splashed onto the scene this year, and you can really see that those two dudes can play. And Mendoza's right up there with him. I mean, the dude's accurate. He knows how to get the ball to his playmakers, knows how to conduct and run the offense and everything. And yeah, I was very, very impressed with him.
The another problem with like Illinois, they weren't able to stop the run at all. Like Kobe
Which is
Martin had 2
shocking.
touchdowns. Yeah,
Which
it's
is
very
shocking
shocking.
for a Brett Bielema like coach team. Like when I think of Illinois, I think a lot of like a poor man's version of a Jim Harbaugh coach Michigan team. Like they're gonna have a really good defense. They're gonna have ability to run the ball, and everything on that they do, at least in the pass game, is gonna build off of their ability to run the ball with like play action passes, getting it nice, easy passes, and that's how they're going to kind of keep you honest. They're going to own the clock, they're going to stop the run, and they're going to play good defense. And I felt like those are kind of a 3 staple of like what Jim Harbaugh's football teams always had. They always could stop the run, they could always run the ball and control the clock and make the timely passes when they needed to. And I felt like Illinois was kind of constructed in a similar way to what Michigan's or Jim Harbaugh's Michigan teams were. And that surprised me a ton last night. Like they were just getting ran through like a fucking train. Like did not stand a chance. And then I mean, not only could they not stop the run, Indiana was doing whatever they wanted to them in the air as well. So that really shocked me.
Yeah, they're like rushing touchdowns. They had 3 rushing touchdowns, like with 2 different backs. And I know like Illinois was also like they were making some mental mistakes with like the targeting, and they just didn't look conditioned at all, like compared to Indiana. And Indiana just basically just pounced all over them.
Yeah, it was
Indiana,
bad. It was a bloodbath.
Indiana's got to play Oregon, and they have to play Penn State as well. So that's going to be interesting. And I think they play USC.
So Oregon and Penn State. Who would you do you know where either of those 2 games are?
Let's see. I think at Oregon, and I think at Penn State.
Oh, they're both on the road? That sucks.
Yeah. Yep. So they play Iowa next week, and then they play Oregon on the 11th. They play Michigan State. They don't play USC, but they play Michigan State when Michigan State does not look good. Besides their offense,
they'll beat Michigan State, I think.
Oh yeah, but they on November 8th they play at Penn State.
Okay.
So, I mean, also Maryland looks pretty good too. They got to play at Maryland.
Yeah,
like Maryland's pretty decent.
Do you think that they have a better chance of being Oregon or Penn State?
Penn State.
I agree.
Oregon was very good. Like Dante Moore is very consistent.
Yeah.
They have weapons everywhere on that team. Like Dan Lanning is just he's a really good coach. Like he's a good college coach.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I don't think there will ever be another year where Oregon doesn't make the playoffs or doesn't make the playoffs with Dan Lanning. Like I don't think we're gonna see that.
Yeah, I think that he's recruited at a very high level. He brings in top tier talent compared to the rest of the country, and they look for real. Like they look for real. They look like a team that can definitely win the national championship this year. And going into the year, I was a little bit more worried about Penn State than I was Oregon, but just seeing the firepower that the offense has, I'm probably more worried about Oregon than I am Penn State at this point. And the thing is, I think a lot of people people forget Oregon went undefeated and won the Big Ten last year and basically just ran into a buzzsaw of Ohio State, who was just hitting at all cylinders at the right time. Like, Oregon was good as fuck last year, and people kind of forget that, or they kind of forgot about him a little bit.
I think I'll say that I think the Oregon team this year is better than the Oregon team last year.
I agree, and I think a lot of that has to do with Dante Moore. I think he levels the whole team up. I think he's a better all-around quarterback than what Dylan Gabriel was.
Yeah. Do you know what really hindered like Oregon last year? Like what their issue was?
What's that?
Whenever in the third quarter, they could not move the ball down the field or produce any fucking points at all during the
third quarter.
Yeah, they were so bad at moving the ball down the field. Like I remember watching the Michigan game; they got 10 yards.
Really?
And then like they were Last year they were close, like with Boise State and Idaho.
Yeah.
Like this year, they're fucking blowing everybody out.
Yeah.
Like they beat Oklahoma State 69-3. I mean, Northwestern is Northwestern. I beat them 34-14. Destroyed Montana State, and then over the weekend they just completely dominated Oregon State. Like
I always understand like the argument of, well, they didn't play anybody, but it's like, okay, yeah, they didn't, but they just beat that nobody by 70 fucking points. That's not easy to do.
Yeah. It's not, and it's like the same thing with like Ohio State. Like you guys beat Grambling like 70 to nothing. Like that's still not like an easy task. Like to not allow any points at all, especially like to like the second stringers coming in like backups and just like completely just not giving up any points. Like Oregon looks so complete right now. Like Dan Lanning has his team coached to a T.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they lose a game
this
year. I really don't.
Yeah, I think
like
that they are.
Season.
I think that we may be seeing them in the Big Ten championship again. I think they are for real, and I agree with you 100%. I think Dan Lanning is a top 5 coach in college football. He just kind of needs to get over the hump a little bit, and I think more people, like casuals, I'll say, will probably start to give him more respect. But I think like people like me and you that watch college football on week to week and follow it a lot, like we can see how good they are and we can see how good of a coach he is. It's just a matter of time before they break through.
Oh yeah, it will be a test. Like the Penn State game next week will be the test. Like if Oregon goes in there and single-handedly just beats the shit out of Penn State, I'll be like, okay, I think I'm sold on this. Like Oregon's gonna make it to the Big Ten championship. Like they do have to play Indiana, and then they play at Iowa November 8th, and then they play USC November 22nd at home, and then they play at Washington the same day as Michigan Ohio State on November 29th.
Yeah, Penn State's favored by 3.5 in that game, and that's at Penn State, which means that Vegas kind of views these two teams equal.
Yeah.
Given the 3, they give you the 3 points or whatever for being home.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Penn State's that good this year. I mean, they struggled against like FIU and Nevada. I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of problems
and
like defense.
It's like we were talking about DJ Lagway. You don't see much development from him. I think you could say the same thing about Drew Aller. Like we've seen this dude for 3 years now, and I can't tell a difference from his first year to his last year. Like they are just a team that can run the ball, and I mean, like Aller can make throws and shit, but like this highly touted 5-star guy that was talked about as potentially being a first-round draft pick, and like there were rumors last year like, oh, Drew Aller might go to the NFL, like the Cleveland Browns should take him and shit because he's from Mentor, really close to Cleveland. It's like that dude is not a first-round quarterback. I'm sorry.
When's the last time Penn State had a first-round quarterback? The fucking 70s?
Dude, I don't even know. I can't even name one. Like the one dude, number 9, short little dude, played with Saquon Barkley. He was like Sorsby or something?
Penn State. Hold on. Penn State QB with Saquon. It's
McSorley. Like I think he was the best Penn State quarterback, at least in my memory. That dude could play a little bit. Like I mean, he could make some things happen with his feet. He kind of had that like fuck you mentality a little bit to him too. Like he was the one dude I think like when I just think about going back and playing Penn State, like he's the one that scared me the most.
Oh, so do you want to know where Drew Aller ranks in a list of college football quarterbacks for QBR? Do you want to know where he ranks at?
How many guys are on the list?
There are 135.
I'm gonna guess like 120 because I know it's like 36 or something.
106. So
That's bad.
he is 2 spots away from Toledo's quarterback Tucker Gleason.
The thing is, they haven't played anybody.
Yeah, they literally haven't. He just looked so bad this year. He's right now 626 yards, 4 touchdowns, and one interception.
Wow.
It's
I think I
horrible.
saw something on Twitter too that if he would have just spiked every single snap or every single pass attempt that he's taken, his QBR would be like 3 points higher.
Was that college football with Sam that said that?
I don't know. I don't know where I saw that. It could have been. It definitely could have been. But yeah, if he would have just spiked every single pass attempt that he has taken to this point, he would have a higher QBR, 3 points higher QBR than what he has today. That's hilarious.
That is actually insane.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
So going on with the kind of the rest of the games, Syracuse upsets Clemson. Clemson goes down again, 34-21. Clemson falls to 1-3 on a year where Joel Klatt had them winning the national championship. Joel Klatt had 3 guys on Clemson's team ranked in his top 10 players in college football. Metal, you and I were very high on Clemson, along with a lot of other people. So Clemson came into this year like there's been a lot of chatter about like Clemson's fallen off, Dabo's fallen off, and it felt like everything was in place this year. They had a lot of dudes returning on defense. They had a quarterback who played really, really well last year. They have a head coach who has been here before. He's won 2 national championships. But here they are, 1-3, like sitting here basically like what the hell is going on? And then after the game, you have Dabo Swinney sitting in press conferences basically bitching to the reporters of why are we held to a different standard than everybody else? We've won before. Dude, this is a what have you done for me lately business, and what you've done lately is next to fucking nothing. You can sit here and tout your ACC championships and shit all you want, but that's no different than when Ohio State was fucking winning the Big Ten every single year when the rest of the Big Ten sucked like 10 years ago. Like, just because you've been beating up on a bad ACC conference the past decade doesn't mean that you should go after your fans for having higher expectations than fucking Boston College. Like, you are at Clemson for a reason, and you should know damn well you're at Clemson for a reason. If you don't like the standard that's there, get the fuck out. You already said last week that I can go somewhere else and win. Then do it. You clearly you have neglected playing the portal, how college football has changed. You have basically told every single recruit that commits to your school that their commitment has to be locked down. If they don't lock it down, then they're not then you pull their offer. While you see all these other kids that are committed to Ohio State, committed to Michigan, committed to Bama, committed to Georgia, they're going on visits to other schools while they're committed. It's just the nature of college football. Dabo Swinney is stuck in this old school way of this is how I got it done 10 years ago, so this is how I'm going to continue to do it. And college football has completely passed him by. And he is tone deaf to what the expectations are of that school, of that fan base. And yes, Dabo, you are the reason why those standards are so high there at Clemson. So good job. I'll pat you on the back. You've done a great job elevating the program. But to say this is insane.
Yeah, I don't agree with anything he said at all. Like it's just like that old like boomer mentality of like, oh, back in my day.
That's exactly what it is. No, you're exactly right. That's exactly what it is.
Like, you must evolve. Like, if you want to get these kids to commit, like, you're going to have to pay these kids. You're going to have to look in the transfer portal, get some players that are just going to help you out offensively and defensively. Like, they like, preseason predictions, like, people were talking about, like, how they have the best, like, wide receiver core in college football. And then the same thing with, like, Cade Klubnik. who is possibly the best quarterback in college football. And on that list of QBR, Cade Klubnik falls at 91 with a 46.8 QBR. So, I mean, they are completely failing him and just failing to develop him as well. Like, Cade right now has got 996 yards passing, four passing, 6 passing TDs, and 4 interceptions thrown. So, that entire team as a whole is just collapsed and discombobulated to where there's no leadership leading these teams. Like last week with the loss against Syracuse was just unacceptable. Like they got blown out in Death Valley. Like when was the last time Clemson got fucking blown out in Death Valley? I mean, I don't remember.
None of it makes sense. Like if your offense is struggling, I could kind of get that in a way. Like, yeah, you got Cade Klubnik. Yeah, you got really good receivers and all of this. But sometimes it takes offenses a little bit to get going. But the defensive side of the ball is the most mind-boggling thing. Typically, defense doesn't go in flaws. If you have a good defense, you have a good defense. And for 4 straight weeks, you can clear. Troy almost knocked these guys off. They were up 16-0 at halftime. I just have this might be this might be the second most surprising thing ever in college football, because Florida State last year was the most surprising thing I think I've ever seen in college football. But I think this is number 2 right behind that.
Yeah, this is probably worse than Michigan in 2007, losing to Appalachian State and it's being a number 2 team and just completely collapsing throughout the season. Yeah, I don't know what Dabo is doing. If he wants to go win somewhere else, then go to fucking Defiance College.
Right.
Go somewhere else. Go play in the fucking MAC or
where there's no expectations.
Yeah.
If you don't want expectations, then go ahead.
Yeah. I don't understand that comment. You're just gonna piss people off.
Dude, if you're a Clemson fan, if that's Sharon Moore, how are you responding to that?
Fuck you.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna support this team. I want you off this fucking team. If Sharon Moore said something like that, last year, where we lost 5 games, and let's say we lose we lost to Washington, and he comes out and says that, I would be fucking livid. I would want him off fired immediately.
Dude, the Ohio State and Michigan media would kill them guys.
Oh yeah.
If it was Ryan Day or Sharon Moore, I'm sure Clemson's media is probably popping off right now, if I had to imagine. But
I bet.
You just can't. The thing with Dabo is he thinks he's up here. If you could see me right now, my hand's way up in the air, and he thinks everybody is down here, and my hand's down by my foot. That's the issue with Dabo Swinney. He thinks that he is the best thing since the gift that was given to college football as one of the best coaches to ever coach the game. And just because he won 2 national championships 7+ years ago, 8+ going on 8+ years ago, I think he won it in 16 and 18. He thinks it just gives him a free pass for sucking now.
Yeah, ever since Trevor Lawrence stepped foot off that team, they've just been terrible. They've been mid.
Yeah.
Last year, they made the playoffs, but got smoked by Texas. I mean,
but
it's just arrogant.
They were kind of positive though last year. Last year at the end of the year, you felt like that's why so many guys had them winning it. That's why you and me were so high on them. They showed they had talent last year. It's Dabo finally made a couple good hires and shit. He hired not guys that were just his friends, actually went out and found coaches who are good coaches, and you felt like he was kind of turning a corner and getting back to what made him great. But here we are 4 weeks into the year, and Dabo Swinney and the Clemson Tigers are 1-3, and everybody around Clemson is left sitting there just scratching their head at this point.
Yeah, I don't understand why you made those comments. You're just pissing people off. You're pissing your supporters off. You're pissing off the regents of the school. Like everyone that's affiliated, like alumni of like Clemson, like basically donors, like you're pissing everyone off. Like you don't make those comments. What you do is basically you take the loss, you figure out what to do and how to improve. Because I know like a lot of the position coaches that Clemson had over the 2010 era to 2020, like they were good and competent, and now like they're just all dog shit. So like you really just have to sit there and look at yourself in the mirror and just like think about where do I start this at? I mean, obviously they have to start this from Dabo Sweeney, uh, because like it's not working. Obviously, there like I said earlier, there is a failure of leadership on this team, and it starts with him. You can't let all this fucking talent just like disseminate and just go to waste. Because what I see and what's going to happen, what I predict is happen if Clemson continues to go down this line of just mediocreness and being terrible, then I feel like Cade Klubnik is just going to hit the transfer. Like I feel like he'll go out to like maybe like somewhere like Oregon next year because he would fucking
Yeah.
excel on that team. Dan Lanning.
Yeah. I don't hate that. That is not a bad take. Is he so he's a junior then, right? Obviously, if he can come back next year.
Oh no, he's a senior this year. I
Is
thought
he
he was a
really?
junior.
Yeah, I guess he is because I think he started right at the end. Was it like DJU whenever he was kind of on his way out of Clemson? Klubnik
Oh yeah,
started
okay.
that bowl game, I think, whatever year that was, and then he started the year after that. Started last year, and then yeah, this would probably make him unless he was redshirted. But it's are you looking it up? Does it say he's a senior?
Yeah, it says senior. It doesn't say he was redshirted.
Okay, so he has to
No, I
go
guess
then. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of ways that guys can get. Maybe he'll get hurt or something, and
this is
get
in
a
grad school.
medical red shirt.
Like Clemson has to play North Carolina, Boston College, SMU, Duke. I mean, the only like somewhat competent team they have to play. I mean, SMU is decent, and then they got to play Florida State, and then
Florida
at the end of the
State's
year
going to
they
beat them if they played today.
oh yeah, and so would South Carolina. South Carolina would smoke them, even though South Carolina is another fucking team that's completely collapsed.
There's a lot of those teams out there that you had some expectations for coming in this year, and they've kind of fell right on their face. Like you throw them in the crowd with Clemson, South Carolina, Florida, like those types of teams that were kind of in a lot of offseason conversations, and a lot of them have fallen well on their face, literally just 4 weeks into the year. So it makes you sit here and be like, what the hell does the next 8 games look like for these guys?
Yeah, I mean, all the quarterbacks that were talked about, the top 5 quarterbacks going into preseason, like DJ Lagway,
Ass,
Sellers,
ass,
Klubnik,
ass,
um, Archie Manning. Yeah,
ass.
dude, they're all terrible,
Did,
bro.
did you see Arch getting in that guy's face from Sam Houston State?
Someone said it's like fucking Arch is basically going up there arguing with fucking future DoorDash drivers. Like, come
Yeah,
on, bro. You're fucking Sam Houston State. You
I
haven't
saw.
beaten anybody.
Yeah, I saw somebody say. So I take this one of two ways. One, Arch has had a really difficult first few weeks, and he has a ton of emotion bottled up, and I think he had a pretty good game yesterday, but it was like it's Sam Houston State, so shut up. But he's like he had a good game yesterday, so he had a ton of emotion bottled up, so it kind of all just came out right there at that last second. And then on the other hand, you're playing Sam Houston State. Realize who the fuck you're playing and just run back to the sideline.
Yeah, it's like Julian saying, like if Julian Sane got a big run against Grambling State and then he just gets in the dude's face. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Like he
I
looks the same like mistakes that Arch Manning's making with the dumb fucking side throws and these progressions. It's like, dude, where is your fucking format? Like, who taught you how to throw a fucking football?
Definitely not the Mannings.
No, definitely not. Like, is it Steve Sarkisian? Like, is that like who's fucking doing this right now? Just is he not competent enough to develop a quarterback?
I don't know.
You look at Quinn Ewers. You look at the Michigan game. Quinn looked fucking impeccable. Like, he looked so dominant. And then as the season progressed, he just basically declined.
Got worse.
Like, so fast. Yeah. It's like, what? How do you go from, being in the college football playoff in 2023, and Quinn Ewers is looking pretty fucking awesome, and he's gonna be a Heisman finalist in 2024, just completely shitting in bed, getting pulled, and then now you have Arch Manning, who can't fucking throw a forward pass apparently, or he can't beat good teams. Like, I honestly, like, I don't think Texas is good. Like, I think Texas, and I know this is bad saying this, like, for, Ohio State fans and for you, but I think Texas is going to lose, like, 3 or 4 games this year. Like,
yeah.
I don't think that offense is fucking good at all. It's just, and it's the same old, like, Sarkisian, like, play calling to where they just shoot themselves in the fucking foot. Like, who does Texas got to play, like, coming up?
Well, I mean, they definitely probably have 3 or 4 games that are definitely losable.
They play Florida, which I think Texas will beat Florida. They play Oklahoma, which Mateer's gonna fucking foot stomp all over them. And then they play Vanderbilt, which I don't know how good Vanderbilt is. I mean, they look good, beating South Carolina, but South Carolina has just been inconsistent for like the past like fucking 50 years. And then they played at Georgia, and then obviously the last game is Texas A&M. So, I mean, that's like 1, 2, 3, like 3 possible losses, maybe even like, and then add on top of that Ohio State, like that loss right there. I just don't see like Arch Manning just being the quarterback for this team and getting them anywhere, especially when they play good defenses. I mean, we all saw how that worked out, like for Arch playing against Ohio State. Like, he just looked so fucking terrible and lost.
Yeah, I think as of today, yeah, they definitely are at threat of dropping a few. I think that the rest of, like, I think that Texas has a real, like, their roster is as talented as anybody's in the country. So whenever they're going to be in every single game that they play in, just because the defense is so good. But that team is only going to go by how far Arch Manning takes that team.
Yeah.
And he's got to step it up at some point. He had a good game this weekend. It was Sam Houston State. Like, let's not get all too crazy excited or anything about that. It's Sam Houston State. But at least if you're looking for some kind of positivity, if you are a Texas fan, like, that was the one thing that you kind of saw him look like himself, or like kind of look like the flashes that he showed a little bit last year. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what is wrong with Arch Manning. I don't know if it was just a product of, I'm not sure if the competition that he played against in high school was all necessarily that good. So a lot of these lack of fundamentals, off-platform, not squaring up his shoulders, sidearm type throws that you and I have talked about the last few episodes. Like, I don't know if he just got away with a lot of that stuff whenever he was in high school. But it's insane that a Manning, like Peyton Manning was the most fundamental quarterback that's probably ever played the game. Like, there wasn't a time and the dude wasn't ever squaring up his shoulders or making sure his base and had balance, like all the things that quarterbacks are taught. So it's insane that his fundamentals are as bad as what they are. And I would imagine they're trying to coach him through that right now. It's probably something that you just got to have to keep hammering home within practice. But as you know, when you get out there on the field and start playing again, you go back to your old habits a lot. So it's going to take time. Like, you're not going to just show up next week and, Arch Manning's playing with really good fundamentals now. Wow, he may have improved a lot. It's going to take a little bit of time. But when it takes time, that puts you in threat of losing ball games. And like I said, I think this Texas team is as talented and as loaded of a roster as there are as any other team in the country, except for the quarterback position, which is the most important position on that team. And I agree with you. I think that they are at risk of probably losing 2, maybe 3 games at this point, potentially even more than that. So if they want to do something this year, Arch has to figure it out fast, and that SEC schedule is coming, and it's coming quick. So they need to figure it out.
Yeah, they do. Do you know? So Arch Manning in the QBR list falls 75th.
So he's even higher than Drew Aller and Cade Klubnik, which is crazy. Well, his last game was pretty good, so I'm sure that he raised. Yeah. He probably shot up the rankings a good amount. I would have guessed he was. I would have bet he was past 100, like last week at this time.
Yeah, he probably was past 100. I agree with that.
So he's got 888. He's got 888 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 3 picks. Like, that's not hateful, but that's also just like stat watching. If you watch him play, there's so many like wide open, simple throws to receivers that he's throwing at their shoelaces, that he's completely misleading them. He's throwing the ball behind guys. Like, the stats look good, but that only tells so much of the story. So like last game in the 55-0 win, I mean, he went 18 of 21 for 309 yards and 3 touchdowns, 0 sacks. Or, I'm sorry, 0 interceptions, 1 sack. But 5 carries, 2 touchdowns. So he had 5 touchdowns yesterday, so that definitely is what shot him up the QBR leaderboard. But, yeah, I mean, the week before against UTEP, he was 11 of 25 for 114 yards, a touchdown and a pick. And then he had 2 more rushing touchdowns. And then San Jose State, 19 of 30, 295 yards, 4 touchdowns, and then he had 1 rushing. So, I mean, like, 2 of his 4 games, he's actually been not too awfully bad. He's had solid games. Like, he had 5 touchdowns in the one, and he had 10 touchdowns between 2 games. And I think that you just saw the Ohio State game where he struggled, and then you saw the UTEP game where he struggled. And I also think with the name like Arch Manning, anytime he does anything, like, people are going to love hating on the dude. So anytime he has any kind of bad throw, that shit's going to go viral on the internet.
It's easy. I mean, it's I don't understand like how you can be, this incompetent when, your uncles are, Eli Manning and
Peyton.
And Peyton Manning.
Peyton or Peyton?
Like Peyton. Peyton.
You picked up what I was putting down.
Yeah, because my daughter's name is Peyton, so I just like, Peyton. Hey, you Peyton?
So, yeah, to round out college football this week, number 11, Oklahoma, takes down number 22, Auburn, 24-17. Number 23, Missouri, beats South Carolina. South Carolina drops another one, drops to 2-2 on the year. Lenore Sellers, like we talked about, struggling along with the rest of the Cade Klubniks, Drew Allers, DJ Lagways of the world. Number 25, USC, handles Michigan State, 45-31. Do you have any last remarks or anything before we move on to the NFL medal? Whether it's any of those games, we'll get into the Michigan one here later. But anything else around the NFL or college football? I'm sorry.
So like a quick, quick hit. I think Oklahoma might be the real deal. Like, they obviously moved up to number 7 AP poll. Jackson Arnold just basically got swallowed up there in Norman. And I remember I saw the play where they were on Auburn's 2, and Jackson Arnold basically just got swarmed and pressured and sacked for a safety. That basically just tipped the game right there. John Mateer is really freaking good. I
yes,
definitely
he
expect
is.
him to be a Heisman.
Yep.
Michigan State. So I, as much as I hate Michigan State, I think their offense is good, but their O line does not look like their O line just struggles against pressure, and Aiden Childs is getting the ball off to Nick Marsh the whole time. It's just not going to work out that way. Like they need to open up the passing game with the run game, and I don't think the run game is that competent. Their defense is dog shit. And maybe this is like a Jonathan Smith thing. Like they have nobody on defense. That is just basically just like elite caliber at all. So I was surprised. I wasn't necessarily surprised that USC just beat the shit out of them. And when USC actually looks pretty dang good. I forgot what their quarterback's name is, but I know he's like this Hawaiian last name, but he looks pretty good. Like they look like they're going to be like possibly a top contender in the Big Ten this year. Which maybe that's something good for Michigan once they get out there, because I feel like that's going to be a tough game for Michigan as well. To where I think USC is a more complete and competent version of Nebraska, to where like they have better blocking in the O line. And also,
I think USC has a little bit more offensive firepower too.
Yeah, they have pretty good running backs as well. But other than that, not really much.
Yeah, it was another wild week of football. I mean,
it was.
You saw a lot of upsets. You kind of saw some of these teams that are starting to fall through the cracks, fall even further through the cracks. But no, I think next week's going to be – next week there's a nice slate. Ohio State has a big one against Washington. I am not completely confident that they're going to leave away with the win in that one. I'm going to do a little bit of research and everything into that, but I mean, on the surface, Washington's won 22 or 23 in a row at home. You have Julian Sand making his first road start. You never know how he's not a true freshman, but you never know how a freshman quarterback is going to respond, especially in an atmosphere like that. Like, that's clearly not an easy place to play if they won 22 or 23 in a row for road teams. And the flip side of that, their quarterback, the DeMond Smith Jr., he is a dog. Matt Patricia this past week, came out in an interview and said that he compared him to Kyler Murray whenever he was in college. I watched him against Washington State last night. The kid is the absolute truth. He can run around with his feet. He can make about any throw on the field. So, yeah, Ohio State's in for a tall task. The spread started at 14. It's gone down to 9.5. Washington, I think, has the nation's number 10 ranked offense. They have the nation's number 25 ranked defense. So that's a game that I don't think I think it's going to fall through the cracks this week of just a lot of other games that are out there on the docket that people are probably pretty excited for. So I think that's a kind of a low-key one that people need to kind of keep their eye on, and Ohio State could be in trouble. I have confidence that Matt Patricia is going to put a good game plan together, and I have confidence that I think Julian Sand's going to go into a hostile environment. I mean, we saw him, it was in Columbus, but we saw him week 1 play the number 1 team in the country. They definitely had a lot of training wheels on him that week, didn't ask him to do a whole lot, but he did everything he needed to do to win the game, and that's the most important thing at the end of the day, is just win the game. So I think a lot of it comes down to how the defense can contain DeMond Smith Jr., and then how does your freshman quarterback go on the road in a hostile environment and handle his first ever road start. So aside from that, I mean, you got number 21 USC traveling to number 23 Illinois. You've got number 4 LSU traveling to number 13 Ole Miss. You have Auburn traveling to number 9 Texas A&M. You have number 6 Oregon traveling to number 3 Penn State. You have number 17 Alabama traveling to number 5 Georgia. And that about rounds it out. And I have a wedding on Saturday. So that's going to make me want to just fucking stab my eyes out.
What time is the Ohio State? It's a 3:30 game, right?
Correct.
Ohio State Washington game? Oh, fuck, that sucks.
Yeah, I'm going to try to talk to my wife and maybe just be like, can you just go to like the ceremony? I promise I will go there afterwards. I just want to like go somewhere and watch the game. Or I'm definitely gonna
Is it
like
a
I'm
cousin's
I'm gonna
wedding?
like pull it up on my phone, dude. Like I'm not missing that game.
Is it like her family wedding?
It's like one of her college friends and shit.
Oh fuck that, dude. Oh.
Yeah, I'm not
Well,
thrilled.
I mean, I don't know if I asked that like with my wife, I think my wife would just like decapitate me. So good luck, dude.
Yeah, I think that's my plan. I'm gonna try to talk her into not having to go to the ceremony, and I'm gonna go watch the game somewhere, and I will be back afterwards. I don't need to watch any other game. Like I just named off fucking 6 ranked matchups next week. I want to watch all those games, but I'm fine missing them if I can just watch the Ohio State game. But I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
Do you guys
I got a long week to approach that.
do you guys have a Cooper's Hawk in the area?
What is that? A bar? I don't
No,
know
it's like a it's
what
like
is
a
it?
wine restaurant.
A wine? I
It's like
don't
a
know.
wine like
The wedding's in Indy.
Indianapolis.
Yeah,
Are you guys like you guys staying in a hotel?
yeah. I assume we are. Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, you just got to get her liquored up and then ask the question. That's a smart thing to do right there. Because then
Yeah,
she'll might say yeah or no.
yeah. I don't
But
know. We'll see.
oof,
It's tough. I'm gonna have to figure something out. So on to the
that's
NFL.
rough. Wow.
My Sunday,
I don't-
Metal and we talked about how we live very similar lives right now in terms of both of us are moving, currently stuck out of a house right now, living somewhere else other than our own house. But we had very different, opposite Sundays. Metal's team kicked the shit out of their opponent. My team got the shit kicked out of them by their opponent. The Bengals lost something like fucking 50-3 or 50-10. I don't even know what it was. I stopped watching it at halftime. It was a fucking joke. At this point, Joe Burrow's done for the year. There is literally no fucking point in winning. You are not doing shit with Jake Browning. So the last thing you need to do is go out there and end up like 7-10, 8-9, or something stupid like that. Then you're picking 15th, 16th again, and you're drafting. You're reaching for another guy. At this point, it's early enough in the year. You're only 3 games into it. You're 2-1. You're probably not winning your next 4. You play the Broncos, the Lions, the Packers, and the Steelers. You're not winning either of those 4. Accept the fact that this isn't the fucking year. It's a disappointing fucking year. Suck ass and get a top 5 pick. You probably have Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins in the city for 3 to 4 more years until they probably leave. Go get another difference maker, get a top 5 pick, and then do everything you can for the next 4 years to try to get a Super Bowl. Other than that, Metal, how was the Seahawks today? It looked pretty good, at least whenever I was glancing at the scoreboard.
I mean, to be honest, like the Saints suck. They're
Yeah, they're
I feel
bad.
bad for Crystal. Like it just wasted talent in the wide receiver core on that team. Their defense is complete. Their defense is awful. I also feel bad for Reed as well. I mean, because like he's a champion, so he won a couple of championships with the Kansas City Chiefs. So, but for the Seahawks side, I was actually really happy watching this game. Torrey Holton, the freshman or not freshman, sorry, I think rookie that came out of where did he come out of? Is it Washington State or
Who
I can't
did you
remember where he
say?
came out of. Anyways, Torrey Holton.
Ooh, I don't know. I can look it up real quick.
Torrey Horton. Torrey Horton came out of
Colorado State.
Colorado State. That's who it is, not Washington State. Anyways, he had a punt return today, which was a 95-yard punt return. First time Seattle has done that, I believe, in over 30 years. And he also had a passing touchdown, or passing catch for a touchdown today as well from Sam Darnold. Run game looked pretty good. K9 obviously started today because Charbonnet is hurt right now. He's on injury. Um, but Jackson Smith-Njigba only got 96 yards. I was hoping that he would get over 100 because that would basically be like the third straight consecutive game for over 100 yards passing. I mean, the one thing about the Seahawks, like I'm so impressed with this year, and I know like they played like some shit teams so far. Like they played the Niners, which they look decent. Obviously going through like some injuries right now,
No
with
win in
George
the
Kittle
NFL is a
and
bad win, though.
right. It's any given Sunday. Like these are a bunch of pros at this
It's
point.
even harder than college.
Uh,
It's 10 times harder than college.
oh yeah, and then going to Pittsburgh and Heinz Field and beating the Steelers and just completely dominating Aaron Rodgers. Like this offense or this defense and defensive line with like Leonard Williams, like they looked so fucking good. Like the one thing I saw like week one against the Niners was we held Christian McCaffrey to 46 yards. Like they were just completely dominating them. And then the same thing goes on with the Steelers, holding them down to under 50 yards rushing, and then like watching them against the Saints. Like they're just putting so much pressure on a quarterback. I think we had like 5 sacks today. Um, and then the secondary with like Love, and going on with like Witherspoon, besides Mullen, that cancer on the team. Like they just look that they're out there and they're just attacking the wide receivers and attacking them, like just creating turnovers, and that's something like I haven't seen since the Legion of Boom with like Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman, and freaking Bobby Wagner and so on, right? Like it's been so long since we've seen that like that Pete Carroll caliber defense to where like man Mike McDonald has stepped up like so much with like just like completely turn around the defense for this team. In 2023, our defensive rankings, we were ranked the 25th. And then going into 24, throughout that season, we jumped like 13 spots to 12th. I really think Seattle might have a top 5 defense this year. I mean, Mike McDonald can coach defense, and he's a great coordinator, and we'll see how like obviously the year progresses as a head coach, but like there's data and there's history for that. Like with his tenure at the Ravens, I've talked about this before, but they were always like a top 3 like defense, and he's bringing that over to Seattle where like before with like Pete Carroll at the helm and just like watching how fucking undisciplined Seattle looks like back in like during his reign where the Legion of Boom was just no longer existed anymore to where like we just have like stupid committed penalties that would just like completely damage this team. But now like they just like obviously the culture has changed. They want to bring that like that LOB mentality back to where like we're gonna win the games with defense and we're gonna suffocate you the whole time. And I really think like they might be a top 5 defense in the NFL right now. And then offensively they just same like a lot of idiots were saying that Sam Darnold going to Seattle like he was just gonna fail. No, like he looks really good. Like his QBR is up. Like his QBR up there is like pretty high, especially the rating as a quarterback. Um, not committing really any turnovers besides like in the the Lucas like and the Bosa basically ran into Lucas and then that caused like Darnold during his like rotation to fumble and then he threw a pick against the Steelers. But I mean after that, like he's just been looking immaculate. Like he's just throwing dots and being smart with the ball. And you can just see that football IQ was missing at the quarterback position because Geno Smith, he was a fucking problem for Seattle. I don't care what anyone says about that. He was a fucking issue. And we saw that. I don't know if you watched the Monday night game against the Chargers, but he threw fucking 3 picks in the first play. The first play he threw a pick. I was like, "Yep, that's Geno Smith right
There's
there."
Gino.
I'm used to seeing. It. Yep, a career backup. Like good for him that like he moved up the chain to be a starter and like he can fucking throw the ball, have as many high passing yards as he can, but when it comes down to that 2-minute drill, Geno Smith is going to throw a pick, or he's going to cause a turnover, or overthrow a receiver. So
where
I'm just glad, like,
you gotta have it.
yeah, exactly. I'm just glad, like, I feel like Sam Darnold is really what we needed for this team, and just completely changing the defense around. But other than that, I mean, I was happy watching the game today. I peeked a little bit for the Bengals and Vikings game, and I was just sitting there thinking, like, watching Carson Wentz play, and I'm like, man, this offensive line for the Vikings looks pretty fucking good. I was like, where's this been for, like, the past, like, couple weeks for JJ? Like, is it JJ McCarthy, or was it the offensive?
Well, I'll just say this: the Bengals probably have one of the worst pass rushes in the NFL. So, yeah, they probably did look a lot better today. Other than Trey Hendrickson, the Bengals pass rush is terrible. Like, it's been bad for like 2 years now. So, yeah, they definitely looked a lot. They probably looked a lot better than what they have with JJ. The Bengals defense isn't very good. I find it hilarious that, like, we're both 2-1 right now, and my vibe compared to your vibe is completely different. And, like, once you lose Burrow, who's a top quarterback in the game, I'm just like, there is, like, I just don't care. Like, I care, but, like, I'm just like, there is no point in winning right now. What is the point in winning other than screwing yourself out of a draft pick? Wow, cool. You might get in the playoff. You might, and you're probably going to get beat in the first round. Or, let's be realistic here, you're not getting in the playoff with Jake Browning. Jake Browning sucks. He's a backup quarterback in the league for a reason. You're not doing shit with Jake Browning. Your defense isn't good enough to get you to the playoffs. So there is no point in winning games, screwing yourself out of a better draft pick. I mean, you could be looking at getting a guy like a Caleb Downs or somebody like that early on in the draft, where if you win a few games or win some games that they're going to push you back later, you're sitting there drafting Shamar Stewart again. Like, I don't know. It sucks that it's the third week of the season and I'm basically already just waving the white flag. My Sundays are probably going to suck from here on out, but I think for the betterment of the position that the organization is in, and when you're looking at the future, I think the best thing in their favor is to suck this year, get a top 5 pick, and do exactly what the Chargers did whenever they brought in Jim Harbaugh. Get a top pick, Herbert goes down, get the number 4 pick, draft an offensive tackle, draft a game changer, somebody like a Caleb Downs or somebody like that, and try again next year. But other than that, was there anything else that stuck out to you in the NFL? I think it's pretty wild that the Colts and Daniel Jones are 3-0, and they've been just absolutely slaughtering people. The Texans are 0-3. CJ Stroud's struggling a little bit this year. Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest, I feel like I haven't really paid attention to the NFL this year. Like last Sunday, Burrow got hurt, and I just, like, turned off the TV. I was so fucking pissed off. And then today, turned on the TV, and then I just turned it off at halftime and just watched the Reds for the rest of the day. So, like, I basically have kind of just been watching scoreboard watching at this point. I haven't really sat down and watched many other games. I've just been so fucking pissed off at the Bengals. I can't even get myself to watch any NFL right now.
I mean, I wouldn't blame you. Like, you're basically your elite star quarterback that has already had like a season, season-ending injury. Like, basically goes through the same
here we are again.
Same instance again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like living in a twilight zone, man.
Well, dude, like, the worst thing that could have happened to them was go to the Super Bowl, because that has ruined my expectations for everything else. Like, I am not satisfied with anything else but winning a Super Bowl. And it just, like, that's so unrealistic. Like, to win a Super Bowl is one of the hardest fucking things that you can do in the entire world. And to have that just be my, like, expectation now, it just, I've had basically disappointing seasons ever since then. That was the last season where it ended when I was, like, very positive about how they ended and was happy with how they ended. Going into that year, they hadn't won a playoff game in like 30 years. So I was just like, all right, let's just win a playoff game. And then they happened to get really hot, get to the Super Bowl, and damn near won the Super Bowl. And then the very next year, they go to the AFC Championship, and they lose on a last-second field goal to the Chiefs. And it's just like ever since that Super Bowl where they barely lost, like it's just been ruined for me. It fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's like you're trying to get that high again. You know what I mean?
It is, dude. I need my needle. I need my needles again. I need my crack.
Injecting my veins. No, I get it, man. I mean, after the Seahawks won the Super Bowl in 2013, and then
at least you've seen a Super Bowl, though. I just want one so fucking bad.
It was nice. It was nice, but then like you win one, you're like, okay, so you make it back to back, and then your team throws a pick on the 2-yard line with the best running back in the NFL.
Oh yeah, that stings. That hurts.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. Like I just choose the teams that have to go through like the most chaotic and most like traumatic way of losing. I don't know. Yeah.
I think I'm right there with you, brother. Any last remarks on the NFL before we get on to your Wolverines?
No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good on the NFL.
So I didn't have a graphic or anything because we didn't have any notes for Michigan. So I was basically banking on you coming with plenty of topics to talk about. I know you have topics. I've seen you very active on Twitter just about the game and all that shit. But Michigan had a very, very, very big win on the road, 30-27 win over Nebraska. Think it was, from my perspective, I think it was a very like characteristic win or like a very good like team win. Like that could have been a loss if you go and lose that game where we might end 8-4. But I think that that's kind of a win where you went on the road. It was a tough, gritty win. You got your run game back going, which has always made Michigan so successful, where you could potentially see yourself at 10-2, 9-3, kind of that area right there as a fringe, fighting for a playoff spot. What did you see? How about your Wolverines?
So I was impressed, especially with some of the play calling, and I think what I said earlier, what I was most impressed with was the offensive line just protecting Bryce Underwood and also opening up the gaps for like the run game. Like Jordan Marshall and Justice Haynes, like they both just had stellar games.
Dogs.
With Haynes, yeah, little like I said this. I was drinking I had a couple of drinks on Saturday, so like when I made that post about Justice Haynes and Jordan Marshall.
What did you say?
I said Justice Haynes and Jordan Marshall are the best running back room in college football, and
they might be.
I don't think that's. Yeah, I think there's a lot of truth into that. Like Haynes is like what, the third ranked running back right now in college football as like for rushing yards. I think it's like within like he's like in the high 600s right now. But Saturday he has 17 carries for 149 yards, one touchdown, and then he had that 75-yard like explosive play. Like he is so fucking fast. Like you're just not catching him. Like once he's gone, he's gone.
Dude, he's got so much home run ability. He's like a guy that like Khalil Mullings was good last year, but Justin Haynes is night and day different. Khalil Mullings, you weren't worried about him busting 5 into 50. You were worried about Khalil Mullins busting 5 into 15. Justin Haynes, if you give him a crease, it can turn into 50-yard touchdown real quick. He is an elite back. I still think Jeremiah Love is a better back overall, but I think Justin Haynes is right there behind him.
And like Jeremiah Love, like this year, like he hasn't been running that well. Like I don't know if it's Notre Dame's like offensive line and play calling, but like they just looked like a completely different team.
Well, I think
Um,
that first game when they lost against Miami, they barely got him the ball, which was wild.
yeah, I think he had like 5 carries, like which I didn't understand that. Like he's clearly your best player on the team.
He only got 10
Like
carries
he
that
was your
game,
playmaker. Oh
and
yeah,
that's
10 carries.
that's
Yeah,
crazy. I mean, he's a dude that should be touching the ball 20, 25 times a game, and like 18 of those, 20 of those need to be a run, and then like 5 to 7 catches. Like get him the ball some other creative way to get him in space. But yeah, I mean, I think Justice Haynes is definitely a top 5 running back, probably a top 3 for sure. Might even be the second best
yeah,
running back in college football. He's an absolute dude, and then Marshall is a very nice compliment of him. I'll just put it that way. They both have the ability to hit you with a knockout punch and take a long run the distance. And I think it is not crazy to say at all right now that Michigan has the best running back room in all of America, and you can continue to improve that offensive line, and if you can continue to get Bryce Underwood a little bit more comfortable, like Bryce Underwood, great quarterback, but he still has a couple freshman moments, which every single freshman is going to have. Like that is normal, but he keeps improving week after week after week after week. They've unlocked his legs. But my point is, as Bryce continues to develop, as you have that threat of Bryce running, you're only gonna unlock Haynes and Marshall that much more the further you get into the year.
yeah. Is it the like I'm like even confident enough to say this. Like I think the duo of Haynes and Marshall is a better duo than what Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards was in like 2022 and 23.
I
Like I
I
mean,
think so too. I agree.
like Marshall is he he is a dog and he just doesn't go down. Like the
You
one of the
There's
runs,
just so much home run ability out of these two guys that
yeah,
like
it,
Khalil Mullings
it,
didn't have. Donovan Edwards had it a little bit, but like Blake Corum didn't have it. There is like these guys can take any run to the house. It doesn't matter how far out you are. Like they have that ability that Donovan Edwards was probably the only other guy that did, but like we know kind of how he was in terms of like what his issues were with like his vision and things like that. Like if he had a nice crease, like yeah, he was taking it to distance, he can outrun everybody. But like these guys have
oh
the
yeah.
vision and the playmaking ability. I think it is very fair to say they have the best backfield in all of college football right now.
So like the like with like the 23 team, like we saw explosive plays, and then we saw a little bit of maybe like twice it happened last year with like Mullins against like USC, and I think who else? I can't remember who else they did it with. But I think it was one against Ohio State where it was at 3rd and 6, and then Mullins had that explosive play where Caleb Downs stopped him, which is
But
like a
even
touchdown
like
saving play.
that run against Ohio State, like it was a 20-yard gain or whatever. Haynes and Marshall was probably taking that to the house.
Oh
Like
yeah, like they
they
were
have so much more speed than what Mullings did. Mullings was good, but he was more of a downhill, like bruising type running back. Like give me 25, 30 carries and I'm going to wear you down because you have to tackle me 25 to 30 times. Justin Haynes and Jordan Marshall are the type of guys where just give me 20 carries, and between the two of us, we're probably going to bust 3, maybe 4 of them.
my biggest worry is like I know next year we got Savion Hyder coming in, and I don't know because I think Justice Haynes is a junior. Um, so if Justice Haynes is keeps on going on the track that he's working at right now, he'll get drafted. And if that's not the case, like if he decides to stay and not go into the NFL, then I feel like Jordan Marshall is just going to enter the transfer. Like I know a lot of people talked about that too. Um, to where like he'll go somewhere else and he'll just excel. I mean he's already excelling right now. Being like running back 2, but like being running back 1 somewhere else on a different team, like he's just so explosive. Like he just
Yeah.
doesn't go down. It's not easy to tell. Um,
I would
And
imagine you
it's just
probably
like-
just want Justice Haynes to have a really good year and go to the NFL, and then just have Marshall and
Yeah.
Hyder be that would probably be the best case scenario for you as a fan.
Oh yeah, like I would definitely want Haynes to go in NFL.
But then
I mean,
again,
we'll
like
see
if,
how,
if
like-
if Haynes came back, like okay, we'll take Justice Haynes back. Like yeah, it sucks. Jordan Marshall might hit the portal,
Yeah.
but Haynes and Hyder might be better than Haynes and Marshall, especially with fourth year Haynes.
Oh, yeah, dude, he's I feel like he's gonna be consistent, and as long as like Michigan, like we keep on establishing that Jim Harbaugh mentality of run the fucking ball down people's throats, constructed basically bowl constricted time, and just have like good game clock management. Like I don't see him, not like having not having under 1,000 yards this year. Like I just don't see that happening.
Haynes?
But yeah, yeah, I don't see like if they continue on like playing like Michigan football, like I see him having over 1,000 yards.
Brother, he's got 537 yards and he's only 4 games in. He's going to clear 1,000 by the 10th game.
Yeah, he's fucking good, dude. He's good. He had 149 yards rushing. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
he's a dog.
Um,
Yeah, I would not be worried
So-
about 1,000. I would. He'll be closer to 1,500 than he will 1,000. I'll say that.
yeah, that's fair. I would agree with that, especially the track that he's on right now. Like more of like just like positives that I saw. I think Donovan McCulley is so underrated. I mean, he can make big plays, and I just don't understand like why Michigan just doesn't utilize him more over Goodwin, because I don't think Goodwin is that good of a receiver just in general. Like I think between Morgan and Goodwin, there was 4 drops, and where Goodwin had he had the drop pass when he did the out route, and then there was the pass that where Michigan was in the red zone, and Bryce Underwood threw it up to him, and dude, he had the fucking corner just clearly beat, and he tipped it and just wasn't unable to make the catch, and it was almost perfect throw, and I'm just like, dude, we have to make these fucking plays, like we have to catch the ball in this situation. I think now like going in like we have 11 drops so far in the season, which is not good. And I know the play that was like the 40-yard pass to Donovan McCulley where like he just jumped over 2 defenders and got it, but unluckily it was right on the out of bounds like the white line, and I'm like, dude, this guy can fucking make some plays. Like if Chip Lindsey can just figure out to where like Donovan McCulley is out there in the seams and just running fucking fade routes, like I feel like Donovan McCulley is just gonna catch the ball. Like he is 6'5". He's a big fucking dude, and clearly, Michigan and everyone else can see that he can catch, and he's clearly our best wide receiver. So I don't understand like why we're not utilizing him more in that situation. So and then to go on to that, I really liked Wink Martindale's adjustment with Barnum moving him over to the edge, to where Cole Sullivan is now going up to the mic, and like that was such a really good move because Michigan's defensive line completely fucking collapsed Nebraska. Like the 7 sacks that Michigan had on Nebraska, like the Nebraska O-line just couldn't handle Michigan and their pressure. I think I saw that Michigan pressured Dylan Raiola 36 times. And what is also crazy
36
is that
pressures?
36 times.
Holy
Yeah.
fuck. Yeah, I mean 7
And
sacks.
He still had 30. He still completed 30 passes with 41 attempts and 308 yards.
I will
Dylan
say
Raiola didn't play bad.
I was very surprised at how like soft Nebraska was. I thought that they would be a little bit more physical than what they were.
They only fucking The Emmett Johnson, their running back one, had 19 carries for 65 yards, and then after that, the RB2 Becky Nelson only had 3 carries for 19 yards. Like they just completely gave up on the run game, completely. And when they were making big plays too on the edge runs, like outside the gaps, and they were killing us in the first drive, to where they got down to the red zone, and they just stopped doing it. It's like, all right,
They
that's
got
always been like
stuffed. They got
Michigan's like.
stuffed on the goal line or like down in the inside the like the 5 or something in the first drive, didn't they?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and it was a turnover on downs.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
right. I think I did. That was. I remember like turning it on and seeing that play, and that. Yeah, I didn't really. Like I said, I like watched probably half of this game, and then earlier today I went back and watched like a very short condensed version of the highlights and shit, just so I could like have
yeah,
a little bit more to like speak to and stuff today. But yeah, I didn't really have a chance to actually like sit down and watch them like I did against Oklahoma. But I saw the plays that the running backs made for Michigan. Like it was clear to me that the run game looked completely different than what it did 2 weeks ago against Oklahoma. And I know last week they brought in Bryce Underwood's legs a lot, where they kind of started to allow him to run a little bit more. I would say probably early on, the first couple weeks, they really probably were worried about injury more than anything. Like we don't want him to just go out there, give him the green light, and like he kind of gets starstruck by the physicality of college football because he hasn't played this kind of physical football yet. Where you kind of lure him in the first couple weeks, and then after that, get his feet wet, kind of get him really more kind of comfortable with the physicality of college football. And week 3, you go into a game against Central Michigan, who's a bad team, and it's like, all right, like he's played 2 games. We know he can run. The kid's athletic as hell. Like it's time to kind of like let him start doing it, because against Nebraska, we might need him to go do that and make some plays with his feet, because Nebraska's a good team and we got to go in there and find a way to win. And I mean, Bryce had eight carries, 61 yards, 7.6 yards per carry, and a touchdown. 37-yard gain or 37-yard rush on the one. So I think that was probably their thinking. Protect him the first couple weeks, wean him in week 3 against Central Michigan, so then week 4 he's hitting the ground running, because we know that that's a whole nother dimension of our offense that we didn't untap in the first couple weeks.
yeah. I definitely agree, because like I felt like against New Mexico and then against Oklahoma, and we talked about this extensively or intensively, that they clearly didn't want to unleash the running game for some odd reason, and I don't know why. But I mean, seeing it in the CMU, the Central Michigan game, and the Nebraska game, like this guy's athletic. He's like the best, like number one high school recruit coming out of high school, and clearly this guy's, he can move with his feet. So why not like just use that for Michigan's advantage in like winning games or just moving the ball down the field? And we saw that like with the 37-yard run touchdown, to where there was literally nobody there. All he had to do was beat out the linebacker and he was just gone for a touchdown. Um, so, and I, like with like Biff and Chip Lindsey, like I understand, they wanted like basically look into like Moore's wishes as like game plans, and like I feel like people need to understand that there is a major difference between game plan and what the plays are being called. Because the game plan could be like, okay, so like we want to basically attack the ball down the field with like passing, and also get Bryce Underwood to use his feet more. Right. That's just an overall synopsis of what's going to happen. Not just like, okay, so here's like our 15 scripted plays. So now what are we going to call after the 15 plays, to where like the dynamic of the game has clearly changed on depending on who's winning and losing, and what's where Michigan is located right on the field. So I saw that a lot with a lot of beat writers that and I don't know if you saw this at Divided, but there was a lot of like beat writers that were, sticking up for more, and which I understand they have to, and it's just part of the culture. But like it's not. I just this team looked completely different week 1 and week 2, or week 1, week 3 and 4 compared to week 2 against Oklahoma. Like playing against Oklahoma, like we just looked like we had shackles on our feet and we were playing scared. And then
Yeah.
playing against Nebraska, there was some glimpses of it where I saw like a lot of screenplays that we were running. I'm like, why the fuck is it 3rd and 3 and we're running a running back screen again? Like, I don't understand why we're doing this. Like, we just constantly shoot ourselves in the fucking foot. Um, and like, we're just not like we weren't like attacking the ball down the field. And to which I feel like we didn't really need to because the offensive line was playing well, and they were just completely stopping any pressure that was coming from Nebraska. Um, and is that going to be something different? Like because we had to play Washington and after is it Washington? No, we play Wisconsin October 4th, and then the following game we have another bye, and then we play Washington on the 18th. So that's that's something like where Michigan's gonna.
Do you guys have a bye this week?
Yeah, we have a bye this week.
Okay.
Where does Michigan have to play? I think they play Wisconsin. Oh, then we play at USC. So we have to play at USC. So like maybe there'll be a
Wisconsin will be a win.
Gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fucking terrible.
But I still think
I'm surprised.
I still think USC's defense has some deficiencies there. Like I think that'll be a really good game. That will not be an easy game. Don't get me wrong. That will not be an easy game. But I think that Michigan's defense will be good enough, and I think you guys will just be able to play bully ball, play Michigan's brand of football, and just punch them in the mouth 30, 40 times, just running the ball. And like Lincoln Riley's teams have shown, they're not in for that kind of fight, and they're probably eventually going to roll over. But I think like your next couple games, like that Wisconsin one, you'll definitely win. And that USC one will be tough, but I think that you guys will probably come out on top just because you guys are more physical. Unless you guys like do stupid shit like turning the ball over, which any team, if you turn the ball over, you put yourself at a clear disadvantage. But I think that as Bryce Underwood is going to continue to develop, you guys go on a bye week. A bye week is probably the best thing for a freshman quarterback because it allows them to kind of go back and see what they've done right, what they've done wrong, and then what they've done wrong, how can I work on it? Where when you're kind of in the middle of the season going week to week to week, you don't really have time to go back and kind of self-evaluate yourself because you have to get ready for the next team, the next opponent, the next game plan. So this bye week is as big for Bryce Underwood as it is anybody else at Michigan. Clearly you want guys to get healthy and things like that, but it allows him to go back on tape, see the things that he needs to work on, and really spend an entire week worrying about himself, not another team and what they're doing and preparing for them. So I think that the next couple games, like you said, like Wisconsin, you guys will beat them. Wisconsin sucks. USC is going to be a test. It'll be probably another really close game, probably like a Nebraska, like similar type of game. But I think with the improvements of Underwood, the offense will continue to get better. Wink is well documented. As the year goes longer, his unit improves the longer it goes. I think Michigan will find themselves probably at, what would it be, 5-1 through the first 6 games would be my guess.
I can agree with that. I'm like, I mean, the USC game, like, it worries me. And then
for sure. Going out west is never easy.
No, and I hope it's not like it's in the same predicament that like Michigan State is in, where the game's on at fucking 11 o'clock at night. Cause
why the hell was that game at 11 o'clock at night?
Yeah, probably because they like USC wanted a night game. You know.
Well, then fucking
Which
play
I
Washington or play Oregon at night or play one of your non-conference games at night. Like, you can still fucking start that bitch at, I don't know, 8 o'clock Eastern time, start at 5. Like, you're still going to play a majority of that game under the lights and shit.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, maybe it's because like it's the first time the team has like played each other in like what, over 40 years.
Could be.
Like
I don't
Michigan
know.
State. But I have a feeling it's going to be the same thing for Michigan. Like, it's going to be a late game.
Yeah. I can see that. I don't know. I don't know.
That's not fun watching those.
I tried to stay up for that Michigan State USC game, and I ended up waking up at 1:30 in my recliner and just like, what the fuck is going on? And then I saw it was like I don't even know. I don't remember even like waking up and going up to the bed, but I was just like, fuck. I tried to do it. I drank some coffee at like 8 o'clock at night because I wanted to stay up for it, but didn't do it. Couldn't get it done.
Yeah, dude, I woke up at the same time. I woke up at 1:30. I was like on the couch. I was like, oh fuck, dude, USC's spanking Michigan State right now. And then I responded to daily MSU's like post, and I went back to bed. And I was like, fuck this.
I did see that one. I thought you were saying I thought you didn't understand his account whenever he tweeted it.
No, I was like, because he said, what was it? I'm going to bed. And I was like, all right, see you later, bud.
He said he would delete his account, I think, if they won or something like that.
Yeah, he's a pussy, dude. He I know a lot of Michigan State fans just don't like that guy, and I can see why. He's a fucking fair weather fan.
Is he really?
But yeah, he's a giant douche. I've interacted with him enough to where like I just say like, yeah, you're just a fake fan who probably just only watches Michigan State when they're good, and that was when 2021 maybe, and before that was like 2015.
Yeah, I think they made the playoff in 15, right?
Yeah,
that was whenever they beat Ohio State in the Big Ten championship, I think.
Yeah, that was the year when the trouble with the snap. Same year.
Oh, was it?
They didn't do shit. Yep.
They got smacked in the first round. Because who was their fucking quarterback? It was
Connor Cook.
Connor Cook. Yep. That's who it was.
Yeah. Where's he at in the NFL?
I don't remember him ever playing in the NFL. I'm sure he did, but I don't remember him doing anything significant, and I follow the NFL pretty closely, so he clearly didn't do next to anything.
Yeah, who was it? Yeah, that year they were pretty good. I mean, beat Ohio State and Michigan. God,
yeah,
I remember watching that kick. I was like, oh shit. And they just like made that like long. What was it, like a 55-yarder in Ohio State? I think it was the last time Michigan State beat Ohio State too.
No, I don't think it was a 55-yarder. It was probably like a 40-yarder, I would guess. But yeah, they made a last-second field goal to beat Ohio State in Columbus, and that was a game. I think Zeke touched the ball like. I think he had 2 or 3 carries in the entire second half or something because it was like a really shitty weather and basically to the point where both teams couldn't throw the ball at all because the weather was so bad. And I think JT Barrett ran the ball like fucking 15 to 20 times in the second half, and Zeke ran it like 2 or 3 times. And then after the game, he popped off to the media bitching about it and all this shit. Yeah, that was good times. That team should have won a national championship. That Ohio State team was like, so ungodly talented.
That was your only loss that season, right?
Yeah. Yep. Went 12-1. Beat Notre Dame in the Fiesta Bowl, I believe. Yep. That was sad, but they kind of deserved it. It was really their entire team from the year before that won the national championship. Like, they didn't lose really anybody. Like, they had Cardale Jones back. Zeke was back. Michael Thomas was back. Joey Bosa was back. Like, the whole team was fucking back. literally all the same guys that won it the year before. And I don't know. Nothing was right the whole year. The offense was pretty stagnant for most of the year. Tom Herman left for Houston at that time. They had Ed Warner, which we both know Ed Warner. He coached at Michigan for a while, and he was bad at both places.
Yeah.
But he came and was the offensive coordinator, and everything was just an absolute shit show. If you ever hear an episode of Zach Smith talk about that year and talk about Ed Warner, it's definitely worth a listen. It's pretty. He's got some pretty good content about it.
Yeah, you guys were really good that year, and
we were just talented. We just never really played to. We played to our potential after that loss. After that loss is whenever they started turning it on, and that's whenever I think they went and kicked the shit out of Michigan the week after that, and then they kicked the shit out of Notre Dame in the bowl game. But it was kind of like we're just better than everybody else, so we basically can just show up and we'll win. And that's kind of for the most part how that entire season was going. They never really looked good. I don't think anybody Ohio State fans never really felt good about how they were ever playing. And you always kind of just had that feeling that they were somebody was going to come in and get them because they weren't playing very well. Well, it happened. Michigan State came to Columbus and beat them 17-14 or whatever it was on the last second field goal. And yeah, that was their wake-up call. And from there on out, they played the team that everybody thought they were, but it was too late at that point.
That was the year that who was it? He transitioned from quarterback to wide receiver that year.
Braxton.
Where he had that. Yeah, Braxton Miller. We had that fucking crazy
spin move. Yeah, that was the first game of the year. Yeah, that game they played amazing, and it was holy fuck, they're winning it all again. And then after that, they just weren't very good, dude. I went to, I think it was the week 2 or week 3 game. They played Northern Illinois, and they won on a tipped screen pass interception that Ohio State picked off and ran back. They beat Northern Illinois by a touchdown that year, and they were favored by probably 40.
JT Barrett only threw for 97 yards
that season.
That's fucking great. That game against Northern Illinois.
Well, Cardale Jones, I think, was the main starter that year.
Well, no, Barrett played that game and he was the high pass for 97 yards.
Well, what did Cardale do then?
Hold on. Maybe
unless I'm getting my years mixed up, but I'm pretty sure that was the year.
I thought Cardale came in. It looks like they both played 2015 Ohio State. Wow. Here you go. Sports Reference is always the GOAT. Fuck ESPN. Let's see schedule and results. Let's see.
Yeah, they won 20-13.
Box score. Passing. Yeah.
Cardale was 4 of 9. Cardale had to have gotten hurt or something.
Yeah, I don't know what happened that game, but yeah, the highest. Yeah, freaking JT Barrett had the highest passing yards for 97. And then Cardale Jones only threw for 36 yards.
I would guess Cardale got hurt that game because JT really didn't play until I think it was they played Minnesota. Or I can't really remember. I think they were kind of switching off and on because they were in a really awkward position because JT Barrett basically led them the entire year and then fucked up his knee or his ankle against Michigan. And then Cardale came in for the playoffs and played really well. So they were in a big battle. And I can't really remember what had happened, but I know at one point in the year they did give it back to JT Barrett, and then the dumb fuck went out and got a DUI, and so then they had to go back to Cardale Jones like week 6, or week 7 or whatever it was. That was just like a I don't know, just a very discombobulated like shitty year.
I do remember that. Like especially him getting injured at Ohio State, like Devin Gardner came up to him.
Yeah, yep.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the year they won the
14, yeah. That was
national championship.
Jesus. Yeah, fuck Sparty. Honestly, like probably like the worst like college football fans out there.
Well, you guys get into it with them like Ohio State and Michigan fans get into it. So I don't really see it. I don't see it near as much as what obviously you do with them. I really don't even interact with anybody from Michigan State like that much at all. Like Intrinsic's probably about the only one, and I feel like it's not really even interacting a whole lot. It's usually just like I like his like one of his posts or he likes one of mine, like that kind of thing. Like I don't know. I just don't really engage with Michigan State people a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean it's like banter here and there. Like it's all just like good and fun stuff.
But like
I mean,
you guys
Ohio
are
State
like
fans,
you're about as big of a like Ohio State's your biggest rival for sure. But like Michigan State's a close second.
it's like it's so like in football it's Ohio State, and then it's like basketball it's Michigan State.
Michigan State, yeah, I
So
could see that.
So then it carries over like obviously to like to football and stuff, to where we have 2015, and then this like throughout the years, like the 1 second clock back in like 2000 when Nick Saban was coaching a team, where Michigan State beat Michigan. Yeah, I mean, there's like obviously years of that stuff, but yeah, definitely basketball. Like Michigan State is so good at basketball. Like they've always been like dominant and shit. And anytime like Michigan State just loses, like Michigan fans are just straight down their fucking throat in basketball. It's so fucking funny, and the same thing for football too, because they talk so much shit. Like they hype up, Aiden Childs and that offense like with like Nick Marsh, but they have no fucking defense. They have nobody on that defense is good, and they're just like talking shit the whole time. So I'm like, all right, you guys haven't made a bowl game since like 2022. That's
yeah,
fucking
they've
terrible.
been down. They've been down pretty bad. Mel Tucker had him turned around there for a little bit, and then he started having sex over the phone and shit, and their program has
Mel
not
Tucker
recovered.
coming,
He's coming,
bro. Like how are you a victim advocate, and you're talking to these people that are calling you through a hotline, and you got your dick out and you're fucking just jerking your shit to these people just listening to these stories. Like you gotta be fucked up in the head. Like you have to be mentally deranged to just do that stuff. That's so fucking weird and disgusting.
is that what happened?
Yeah.
I thought it was Brenda Tracy chick, and they had like a relationship or something.
But she was like she I think they built the relationship over because like she was a victim,
Of
and
sexual
then
assault,
like
right?
yeah,
Yeah, I knew that. I
disgusting.
didn't know that he was like hearing stories, and yeah, that's fucked up if he was doing that. But I didn't really know the situation at all. I didn't really follow it or anything. But I always, or at least from what I remembered, I just remember the Brenda Tracy chick, and I thought they had like some kind of relationship, which, yeah, I don't know. I just hate talking about sexual assault because it's a lose lose.
It literally is. It's
Yeah, it's
horrible.
just a
Yeah, he
bad,
got
bad, bad thing.
yeah set, and he was involved in a sexual harassment investigation at Michigan State, which led to his termination in September of 2023. It's basically Brenda Tracy who accused Tucker of making sexual comments and masturbating during her in April of 2022. That is, oh god.
So did they have like?
Loser,
how did they prove it? Did she like record him or something?
Probably, yeah.
So did Michigan's? I was actually talking about this with one of my friends the other day. Did Michigan State have to pay his buyout, or did they get out of it because of the situation? They probably got out of it.
Idea.
Or is it still going on?
Yeah.
Is the lawsuit like still going on? It might be, dude. That shit takes forever.
Yeah, so I know that Michigan State is under a NOAA right now. So, like, they're being investigated by the NCAA.
Yeah.
But as like
it probably just takes longer because like Michigan's instance was just like sign stealing. It wasn't like a law being broken. Like, this is a legitimate, we need to take this to the federal court type shit.
Well, it says in 2025 of this year that she's suing or sued the Michigan State Board of Trustees and 2 board members, alleging they breached their duty by disclosing her identity and failing to protect her. Yeah, you can't. Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Like, I mean, if, like, I did sapper stuff in the Navy, so, like, anytime, like, if you're a victim advocate, like, that's, like, depending on what route that you go through, like, that identity and stuff and, like, information has to be kept, like secret at all times. Like, it has to be confidential. And clearly,
she's suing a couple of trustees.
Yeah, because they disclosed her information, like her name and everything.
Whew.
Like, you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
It says that, like, she was a rape survivor and a sexual awareness expert. That's fucked, man. What a fucking loser. And the guy was married too. That's man. That's disgusting.
He had it like pretty good too. Like, he had like Michigan State pretty well turned around. Like, he had a good job and everything, and like, yeah, just fucked it all up over some crazy shit.
Yeah, in 2021 they were really good. Like, they beat Michigan because Kenneth Walker completely just ran it down our throats. Like, 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, he was good that year. He was really good.
And then they, like, Ohio State just, like, C.J. Stroud just completely picked that team up. But
that didn't make any sense either because fucking, I'm going to look that game up. Ohio State held Kenneth Walker to like 30 yards or something stupid like that. And then the week after that, they face Michigan, and then Hassan Haskins goes for like 10 touchdowns.
Ohio State versus Michigan State. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. 2021. Let's see. How many yards did he have? He had 25 yards.
Yeah, dude, they bottled him up. I just remember, like, I remember being like, well, yeah, they just stopped probably the Big Ten's best rusher for like 25 yards or whatever it was. And like, Michigan's thing is running the ball. Like, I was like, I feel like we'll be okay. And then Hassan Haskins and the Michigan's O-line just ran a fucking train through through the Ohio State defense.
Dude, C.J. Stroud went 32 for 35 with 32 yards, 6 touchdowns. Shit.
Dude, if you want to watch like the best football or the most complete like version of football ever, watch highlights of that game in the first half. It was fucking insane. They were just doing whatever they wanted. It was just like 50-yard pass to Wilson, 50-yard pass to Olave, 50-yard pass to JSN. It was stupid. They were just dropping. I think he had 6 touchdowns at halftime. Pretty sure it was like 49 nothing at half.
And then Kyle McCord got put in.
Yeah, that dude sucked. Not
Dude,
sucked.
fucking
He just
Olave and Wilson.
wasn't great.
Yeah, it wasn't. But Olave and Wilson and JSN all had over 100 yards receiving.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling
That's
you.
crazy.
Sometime watch highlights from that game. It was just nukes being dropped everywhere.
I feel bad for Curt Olave.
Yeah,
Getting absolutely wrecked.
Him and Garrett Wilson have kind of gotten fucked with horrible quarterback play.
Hey, they can come to Seattle. I will definitely take them. I don't discriminate against Ohio State players.
I mean, yeah, JSN's liking it there right now. He's getting fucking targeted 15 times a week.
Fuck yeah, I got my JSN jersey on right now. I don't give a fuck. He's a dog.
He is. It's criminal. He
Yeah.
had to miss the last year at Ohio State, but... All right, Metal, you got anything else, or we want to get on out of here? Another good episode. Another crazy weekend of football.
It was. I'm really looking forward to see Ohio State play Washington.
That's going to be a game. I'm telling you right now. Don't be surprised if Washington can get them. Washington can get them.
I think if Bo Jackson doesn't get enough touches, I think you guys lose.
They'll probably be like a running back by committee. But I think he will start to be the leading rusher. And when I say that, it might be C.J. Donaldson that runs out into the field for the very first snap. But I think at the end of the game, you'll probably see like a split of carries of like 15 carries for Bo Jackson, like 8 to 10 for Donaldson, and then like 3 to 5 from Peoples. I think you'll just slowly kind of start to see Bo Jackson by the end of the year will lead the team in carries and that type of thing. So it's already kind of started that trend the past couple weeks, and him and Donaldson had the same last week, and I expect him to get more this week. I mean, he has to. He's clearly the best back in the room.
I talked to my stepbrother about this too, like, because he's an Ohio State fan, and he was like basically saying that that you're not gonna like basically remove reps from Donaldson because he's a transfer, and like he's obviously running back one right now, while like Bo Jackson is still like a freshman, a true freshman, to be exact. So I do agree with you. Like I feel like they're gonna like start off giving Donaldson, reps, but like slowly transition over to where Bo Jackson is going to be like running back one.
Yeah. Well, I also think like Donaldson and Bo Jackson are two different types of backs. Donaldson is like a short yardage, get him on the goal line, or get him like in a 3rd and short situation. Like that's who you're giving the ball to. Where Bo Jackson's kind of like your 1st and 2nd down type back, where it's like you can run it with him, you can throw it to him out of the backfield, like that type of thing. And I think another big part of this too is like how well can Bo Jackson block? Because if he can't block, like then you'll probably see more Peoples or more Donaldson, because like you need an extra blocker in there on passing downs. And if he can block, I mean, that just makes it that much harder because you're not as one-dimensional then. If Bo Jackson's in there, you know that they're probably not throwing it, or he's coming out of the backfield because he can't block worth a shit. So I don't know.
Right.
We'll see. We'll see as we go. But I think that he's definitely the most talented back in the room. I think that, like I said, he'll start to get the most carries, I would say, this week going forward. But Washington's the truth, dude. I don't know how they're not ranked yet. They may be ranked now with the AP poll and all that's come out, but they're the truth. Like Ohio State's got to play a really good game to win.
I think Washington is. I think they might be 23.
They would. I would say they have to be ranked after they're like 4-0.
No, they're not.
Still not ranked? Well, if they win Saturday, they'll definitely be ranked. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll
what
see.
happens.
Julian's saying has a big test ahead of him. We'll see how he responds whenever he goes on the road for the first time. So you never know how true freshmen are going to respond, or not true freshmen, but a kid making his first road start. You never know how they're going to respond. So
Extremely hostile environment too.
yep. Well, Metal, you want to get on out of here? I need to get some sleep for work
Yes,
tomorrow.
sir. Yeah, I gotta do some shit, some more packing.
I wish I had that central time zone like you did, so my clock would say 10:19 and not 11:19. That'd feel a lot better right now.
Dude, Central Time is goated. It
The
is
best.
fucking goated.
It's the fucking
Literally the
best. I know.
Noon NFL kickoff time, and then 11 o'clock fucking kickoff time for college Saturdays.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and then it's like, for me, when a fucking Sunday night football starts at 8:20 and it gets over at 11:30, like, for you guys, by the time it gets over, it's 10:30 and you don't feel like you have to go to bed like immediately, or you're just gonna be dog shit tired the next day.
Yeah,
But
right? Like, fuck, dude.
that's the part I like the most. Like when I travel or anything for work and I'm in Central Time Zone, like I love it. It's the best because I can like stay up and watch games, and then after they're over, go to bed and still like feel like I'm not staying up late as fuck. But oh well.
Yeah. Oh,
Well, appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. If you could please like, subscribe, follow the show, tell your friends about it. We'd greatly appreciate it. But other than that, thank you for another episode of The Middle Ground. We are out.